Time to sharpen the blade. Nova has suddenly been called to action against a cyborg army. The Delta Foundation has developed a line of fighting robots that pose a threat to national security. Nova has been picked to eliminate the danger by destroying the Delta Foundation, all 5 locations. Fortunately, he will be using different suits which give him the ability to walk on ceilings, swim long distances, and fly. Not to mention the latest top secret suit. And of course, Nova will be wielding the ancient Power Blade, a weapon of art and science. He must draw on all his skills and cunning to defeat these near-perfect fighting machines. Viewers, let's look at Power Blade 2 from Natsume and Taito, released in 1992. And for 1992 being pretty good, it's also pretty bland. Yeah, I'm sorry. This game takes place in the year 2200 and follows Nova. Wow, who'd have thought? Nova being the protagonist from the first Power Blade game, as he sets out on a mission from the US Department of Defense. His mission to destroy the Delta Foundation. How about that? Who has created a new cyborg that can threaten global security if it falls into the wrong hands. Just like in Power Blade, the gameplay is similar to Mega Man in that we have the freedom to select just about any stage we want, and it adds some new features also seen in Mega Man, such as the ability to slide and a wide assortment of weaponry. Power Blade 2 was made first in North America and then was sent over to Japan, where it was called Captain Saver. As in the first game, the title comes from the special power-up called the Power Suit, which is a suit which gives the player additional firepower capabilities. How you get Captain Saver from Power Suit, I don't know. As we've said, the object of the game is to destroy the Delta Foundation. We have 5 areas to visit to do this, and of these 5, we can choose to visit the first 4 in any order we want. No one is really any more difficult than the other, and no one stage requires any items found in the other. After beating the boss in Area 5, we get sent to the final level. One of the biggest changes to this game was the addition of 4 collectible and optional power suits. Instead of finding a temporary power suit, you can now collect 4 suits by defeating a mid-level boss. The 4 suits are the Newt suit, a suit that lets the player climb the ceiling and walls and use running for president as a method to make a whole lot of money. The Wet suit, which allows the player to swim. A rocket suit that lets the player fly, and a defensive suit called the Patriot suit. And our plot goes as follows. December 24th, 2200. The Delta Foundation, a weapons research company, developed a new cyborg soldier. The US president was told that if the government didn't buy it within the week, they would sell it to another government, which would pose a threat if it falls into the hands of a hostile government. Nova is given a secret mission from the Department of Defense to destroy the Delta Foundation. Power Blade 2 was featured in October 1992 of Nintendo Power, and it was featured in September 1992 of Electric Gaming Monthly. And Electric Gaming Monthly gave the game a 5.5 out of 10, which is a little low compared to some of the ratings the game's been getting lately. This game would probably clock in at about a 7 out of 10 these days. And for good reason, one might say. The game, the controls are good, mostly. Diagonal attacking is a bit weird. The graphics are decent. They're not, oh my god, super amazing for 1992, but for 1992, they're probably what you would expect from the NES. The music is good. I enjoyed the music. Controls are decent, like I said. The thing about Power Blade 2 is that it is so bland. While it does so many things, and it does so many things well, it doesn't do anything new. There's there's nothing about the game to really make it stand out. As we read in the write-up, the game really borrows a lot from Mega Man in certain instances. It borrows a lot from, you could say, Contra, with some of the graphic selections. If you had a recipe card for how to make your basic platforming NES game, and you followed that card to the letter, you would come up with this game. You've got spikes, robots, conveyor belts, aliens. You've got a very stereotypical action hero main character who uses kind of a goofy weapon. You've got the various power-ups. You've got bosses that are, you know, a little more to behold than the hero. You've got pretty basic stage ideas, you know, your factory and the underground, and then you got the water, kind of sewer level, then there's fire, and, you know, it's just very, very, I would say, safe. Safe would be a good word to describe this game if you are a publisher and developer. You just take all these very basic foundatory aspects of gaming and you put them into your game, and then you build a game around that. Power Blade 1, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it. I think Power Blade 1 is a little worse than this game. The stages in Power Blade 1 are a bit too open. It's very easy to get lost. This game is quite a bit more linear stage-wise, which I think works a little better. It's a fun game to play, but you're not gonna probably... I don't know. This would be the kind of game you could play and finish in an afternoon, and then put it down and be like, all right, I don't need to play that again for a while. But then you might one day be sitting around thinking, oh, you know what, I'm kind of bored. I want to play a game. I'll play Power Blade 2. Because that's as invested as you are in the game. There's nothing about the game that makes you want to get in and feel like there's more to it than there actually is. There's no secrets there. I mean, you could do things like, I'm not going to get the power suits this time. I'm going to try doing this minimalist run. But again, you could do that in a Mega Man game, or you could do that in a Contra game, which, while again, there is nothing wrong with this game, Natsume and Taito did some really, really good stuff. Abadox, being the one that pops up to mind right now. They worked on that SCAT game, the Cybernetic Attack Team, whatever it was called, which we will be looking at later on, by the way. I think Shadow of the Ninja, I think Natsume worked on. I mean, really, just good, solid games. And of their entire library on the NES, this one feels just the most, we need to put out another game. Go put something together. All right, would you make it happen? And it's kind of what we ended up here with Power Blade 2. Now, as it said, this game was first made in the US and then ported over to Japan, which is a little backwards. Things don't usually happen that way. Power Blade 1, which obviously this game is the sequel of, also worked on by Natsume and Taito. Takes place just a few years before this one. Same people. Nova being our hero. The game in Japan was quite a bit different, which I think is partly why it didn't get released in Japan as Power Blade 2, but as Captain Saver. because the Japanese version of Power Blade, which was Power Laser, quite a bit different. Rehauls of the level. The main character was changed from like a little cartoony android-looking thing to Arnold Schwarzenegger. Many different levels. It was just quite a bit different. However, Power Blade 2, like I said, good, decent game. If you're looking for a new platformer, give this one a try.